How's it going, guys? Bring your platoon here, and welcome to another great game in World of Tanks Xbox One Edition. Today I'm going to be in the Tier 9 British heavy tank, the Conqueror. Just recently upgraded this bad boy to its pinnacle self, and I'm going to start off this game just like any other, listing off the statistics of this tank itself, fully upgraded. The gun on it is pretty damn accurate with a dispersion of .33. This is coming from tanks.gg, as it always will be. The aim time, it says it's 1.8. I think it's 1.7 on console, I could be wrong. Damage is the very standard 120mm damage, with a whole 400 damage per shot on average. The penetration for the standard AP rounds is 259, with the APCR premium rounds going all the way up to the penetration marks of 326mm area, enabling you to shoot through the front of E100 turrets flat on like they were butter. But, yeah. Butter. Funny wordplay. Moving on. Top speed is pretty damn slow for a heavy, or I guess heavies aren't supposed to be fast, but I think it's pretty slow. 34 kilometers an hour for the top speed. Reverse speed is 12 kilometers an hour. I don't know what the traverse fucking means still. The higher it is, the better it is, I think. Yeah, traverse is really great for this thing because it's British. It's probably comparable to the Black Prince. If you've played that tank, it's pretty damn crazy how fast it can turn, but it's got 1950 health. I don't know if that's accurate for console either. And the turret armor, let's just go down to the fucking armor here. The only way they're going to pen your turret straight on is if they hit, what? The mantlet? The side of the mantlet for the gun, hold on, let me look at this differently here. The inside of the mantlet is only 178 millimeters thick? Like, the closest you can get to the gun without being a part of the gun, the gun barrel itself, is like 260 to 220 millimeters thick, so that's not very good, but it's a very, very small spot, and people will still have trouble penning your mantlet, as right outside that area it's like 300 to 500 millimeters protection, so that's good. You do have a turret top weak spot, which is popular amongst the Russian mediums. It's got a 51 millimeters thick top plate on the turret, which can be overmatched by guns of 150, yeah, Jesus Christ, I don't know why I started there, 150 millimeter caliber guns or bigger, so look out for being overmatched there. And the only way they're going to be able to pen, what? That's a hitbox? Oh, that's horseshit. Okay, so your hatch has a very angled spot in the middle that is an auto bounce, regardless of what's shooting at it. And then the part that connects to the turret for the commander's hatch is very flat and only like 120 to 130 millimeters of protection. And then there's like little wings on your commander's hatch that are pennable for like 115 millimeters. That is ass. Wow, I didn't know about that. Okay, moving on to the hull itself. It's 152. I'm not gonna even list off the original impacted armor. Yes, I am. 153 millimeters originally, but angled as the way it is, it enables it to go up to like 250, 240 millimeters of protection if you're not angling at all and just facing tanks face on. And your lower plate, let's just say it's like Tier 6 armor. So, yeah, don't get penned in your lower plate. Be hull down. And if you're using all your gun depression to look at enemies, well, your upper plate goes up to 340 millimeters of protection, and your turret still remains relatively the same because it's, well, it doesn't get any more angled because it's a turret and not an upper hull. So, your sides, as with all British tanks, are pretty garbage. Again, look out for overmatching guns like the giant 155mm guns on the Tier 10 tank destroyers for the American line, as well as German and Russian and all that garbage. So if you're side scraping, the only guns that will be able to pen your side reliably are guns that are bigger than 150 millimeters in caliber, or even, I'm going to do a test here. I really want to talk more about the gameplay, but I just want to be sure. I'm going to compare the side armor side scraping angles to, let's say, a tier 9 waffle on the German line with 12.8. No, let's not go 15 centimeter because that's retarded. 12.8 millimeter on the side angle while you're side scraping. And now it's not giving me any values, so that's cool. Thanks, tanks.gg. But you get the gist of the statistics of this tank, so let's just move on to the gameplay finally, now that the game is almost over. So, I ran into that T-29 a few seconds back, thinking, okay, I could just go behind the dead tank and side scrape against him. He had other plans, he rushed me. I kind of average roll him, and I had to put another shot into him to finish him off. And then, Jag Tiger IS-3 pops up. I was going to focus the Jag Tiger, but the IS-3 was getting a little too close for comfort, so I decided to focus him, and then finish off the Jag Tiger when I had the chance, because his gun is scary and has bigger alpha than the IS-3. So, naturally, I wanted to take him out of the game. And another plus to this tank, with the good accuracy, well, you can fucking snapshot kids like it's cool in this thing, especially if you decide to put on the vertical stabilizer, which I would also highly recommend on this tank, as it is borderline. It needs it, because if you turn your turret a little bit, they're going to be able to pen it, and this thing is not a very well armored heavy, just simply for the fact that you need to be in either cover or using all of your gun depression to have reliable armor. It's kind of depressing, but it's true. And I'm just ignoring that light tank because I know my team is going to take him out, which they just did there. So, yeah, good for them. I'm just focusing on getting a lot of damage, as I want lots more. And I don't know if it's just me, but this thing doesn't seem to carry a lot of rounds. That could just be me, though, or I fired them very haphazardly and ran out very quickly because I wasn't aiming correctly or some other thing. But yeah, that's the game. Didn't mean to list off statistics throughout 80% of it, but that's just what ends up happening sometimes. So, for a whole 7 minutes and 30 seconds of a game, I did 8,000 damage combined. Yeah, let's just call it 8,000. It's close enough. And that was enough to net me an Ace Tanker badge. So that's pretty funny. Thought there would be a lot higher requirements for that, but there it is. It must have been because I got a steel wall. But, oh well. I'm not going to look too far into it. Hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you next time. And by the way, my equipment loadout is rammer, vents, and vertical stabilizer. Just thought I'd mention it quickly.